Good morning. Welcome to the space where we reimagine Africa and reimagine living. What a wonderful day. I am just so grateful for the goodness of God, literally, just the stability that has been in my life. And there's just the joy of knowing that I'm always cared for. And I hope it is a joy that you're experiencing as well. Today, there's a conversation that keeps coming up, keeps coming up, keeps coming up. And it's a conversation about your friends and your family, right? Your friends and your family. And you're trying to figure out what is what is going on. Why does it feel like sometimes your friends are inconsistent? You can't determine what kind of friend would do this, and I want to help you decipher that once and for all. And before I do that, let me tell you a story. I had a friend who was a really good friend, and the season had come to an end, and I was having such a difficult time understanding that the season of that relationship had come to an end. It had gotten to its point, to its end, and it had been good. We had had ups and downs, and at this point, um, we had reached that end, the wall, and I didn't know what to do. And so at the time I was coaching and I was in Lisa Nichols' Breakthrough the Retreat. We were this in Mexico, and I kept talking about it. I kept talking about it. And I was like, this is what she did, and this is what she did, and this is what she did. And then Lisa asked me, she said, why do you care? Why do you care so much? And I remember that just stopped me, because the energy that I was putting in it at that very moment was an energy of, she needs to come back, she needs to come back, she needs to come back. And I wanted it how it used to be. And she said to me two things. One thing, which had three components. And she's like, you've got to understand this. There are three types of friendships. Three types of friendships. And hear them clearly, because this was a game changer for me. Some friendships are fall into the category of life giving, life giving friends. Okay. And then there are others that fall into the category of purposeful friends. And then there are lifetime friends. Okay. And this she wrote about in her book, Abundance Now. This is the book that at the time was coming out. I think it was coming out that year. This was 2016, right? Abundance Now is a good book that I recommend for anyone who's interested in figuring out the boundaries of how to formalize your life, right? So she said there's these three types of friends. And the problem with us, the reason why we struggle, is because we are trying to put friends in a category that they do not belong in. Okay? We are trying to put friends in a category that they do not belong in, right? So let me tell you what a life giving friend is. So, from time to time, you have experiences where you meet this one person, they come into your life, and you like them so much, and they maybe are there to help you with your resume, and they help you with your resume, you get a job. During that period, you're very close, maybe you have come through a downtime. This person comes in and injects life into you, right? You might not have known them before, or maybe you knew them, but you didn't know them in that way, right? So they help you with your resume, they coach you through the interview process, they get you contacts, they help you, and um, then you get into the job, and after that you get into the flow of things, and then your relationship doesn't grow. That is a life-giving friend. At that point, their station in life was to give you life, to inject life in you, and then it would be over. Same thing as a rebound boyfriend, right? You have been in a relationship, the relationship wasn't working. You go through a breakup, you meet this guy or this girl, they sweep you off your feet. You start feeling like you have it going on, right? and then it just fizzles out. That is a life giving friend. Okay? That is what that definition is. Now, a purposeful friend, anyone you're putting in the category of purposeful, right? That is a friend. And let me go back a little bit before I go back to purposeful friend. A life giving friend, it could be a relationship from 1 day to 1 year. Okay? 1 day to 1 year. And that's it. It doesn't really go past that, it just ends. A purposeful friend, this is a friendship that came with a reason. Sometimes it can be a long term relationship, like 2 to 10 years, right? You might have married him. This is a guy you married, a girl that you married. And it was it started off well. You got married, you had a baby, and then you just started realizing that, I was 22 at the time. I didn't even know what I wanted. Who is this person here? This is not my person. And you realize that you went into that relationship for all the wrong reasons. But you have a beautiful son that came out of that relationship. That person's purpose was to provide you with what you needed to be a mother. Okay? You have no reason to be angry at this person. You have no reason. I mean, and if you are wasting your time. This person had a purpose. They came into your life at that time to give you something, to be something to you, to provide something that you might not even known that you needed, to teach you something. That purpose has been fulfilled and they have gone. Okay? So they're not anything more than that. They were in your life for a little longer than just a life-giving friend. They are purposeful. They came for a period. And this is what I wasn't understanding at the time with my friend, is that she had been in my life for a purpose. She had been in my life for a purpose. The relationship served its purpose and it was complete. A life-giving friend, they're there from 1 day to 1 year. They serve their purpose in that 1 day or that 1 year. A purposeful friend, probably 2 to 10 years about. It's basically, it can be long. 10 years is a long time to be with someone for it to end. 20 years is purposeful. Now let's go through the third category. The third kind of friend is a lifetime friend. This is a person who is going to be in your life for your entire life, right? Sometimes family members become lifetime friends. But family members can also be purposeful. And that's the part that we don't seem to understand. Lifetime could be a romantic partner, right? The thing is, you have to know exactly where people fall. You have to know exactly where people fall in your life. The struggle happens when you're trying to make life-giving friends lifetime friends. They will never be, a life-giving friend will never be lifetime. They came into your life to remind you that you still have it going on. That's it. You've got it going on. That rebound dude, life-giving, gave you life to remind you that you were still hot. That is a life-giving friend. When you try to make purposeful friends lifetime friends, there's always going to be friction. There's always going to be friction, right? And so for that reason, pay attention today and ask yourself, which friends of mine are in my life right now that need to be purpose to fit in their place and be very comfortable, because the discomfort comes when you are trying to miscategorize your friends. Here's the thing about life giving friends: sometimes it swoops you off your feet in a way that you know that this will be forever. You want that moment to be forever. The moment was never designed to be forever. So, what you're doing is causing yourself anxiety over something that was never meant to be, right? The hardest one that we struggle dealing with is the purposeful friend. Because a life giving friend, you'll be like, oh, that was unrealistic. That could not be sustained. The one where we struggle the most is trying to put a purposeful friend into a into a lifetime friend. That is where you will lose every time. Ask yourself, has the purpose of this friendship been realized? And it's going to be difficult for you to say yes because you want it so badly, you want it to last forever. It's not going to happen. That kind of relationship changes. And let me share something with you about friendships and how to change them, because I've had this situation happen many times. Here's the thing that I do: I love to make amends. I love to make amends, and that's something that I have come to realize its value as I have become an adult. I'm 51 years old now. At this point, I should know how to make amends, right? So what I normally do is, when I'm bothered by something in a friendship and it matters to me, right? I normally will come up with a way for us to sit down and have a conversation about it. But you have to be mature about this. If you're not mature about it, if you're going to be emotional and cry and beg and all that, that's not for you, right? Remove the emotions from it and just show up with the facts. And I like to have a conversation. And so for me, the conversation is usually a recap of the milestones in the friendship. And where it could be, I'm talking about the milestones of how good it was. And then some of the milestones could be how terrible it got. But at that point, I'm emotionally able to talk about it without crying, without wanting them to be something else, without wanting that situation to change. You just acknowledge those milestones. So what I will do is I will sit down with you and say, hey, just have a regular conversation. And at some point, I will go in and I'll say, I used to love our friendship when we did this. And then when this happened, things changed. But here's the thing: most people don't want to go back. It takes a lot of courage for two friends whose category has changed to sit down and have that conversation. And this is what I have discovered. For me, if you are not willing or able to go back to that place and have that conversation in a dignified manner, what I do is I change the category of the friendship immediately. You might be, maybe I came into the meeting and you are a purposeful friend. I might at that point downgrade you to a life-giving friend and say that now you fit in that category. Even though I've known you for a long time, you might still be that person who comes in and out of my life to give me life for whatever reason. I'll be there for you sometimes, and you'll be there for me sometimes. So we are kind of sometimey, and I'm going to be fine. So in my situation, one time I had a relationship that I wanted to salvage, and I invited her to coffee, and I started talking about, the past. And she said, let's not go into the past. And I said, it's important to me if we are going to figure this friendship out. And she said, no, let's not go into the past. My feelings were so hurt. They were so hurt. And then I realized that I needed to not be hurt because I went in with an agenda. Much as I was saying I just wanted to make amends, I had gone in with the agenda to change what is. And yet the agenda was supposed to be to air out what is so that we can move forward in whatever result that we get. And so when she said no, I felt rejected again. And so I was really hurt. And then as I was driving home, it hit me. And something came and said, I get to choose how this friendship runs from now on. And so what I did is I left and I said, this friendship is now downgraded officially from purposeful, or I used to think it would be a lifetime friend, to life giving. And once I did that, I took the power in the relationship and I owned what I wanted. And from then on, no matter how many times this person called me, no matter how many times this person tried to reach out to me, she would never be lifetime. She was no longer purposeful. She is life giving. I will show up for her when I need to, and hopefully she will show up for me when she needs to. Still love her. Still love her. But she is now a life giving friend. When I see her, there's a lot of joy. Why? Because of the history of what was, right? When I see her, I wish her well. Why? Because of the history of what was, and because I'm 51. And I can no longer play those childish games. Okay? So here's the thing. As you are beginning this year, pay attention. What are you doing? Why are you giving people a lot of stress about be my friend, be my friend, be my friend? You're not in third grade anymore, where you have to say, are you my friend? Just look at the relationship and ask yourself, where are we? And I'm not saying ghost people at all, because some of you are getting the message wrong and you're like, I'll just leave them, their life giving lifetime. No, no, no. Make amends. Have the courage to make amends. Making amends says, I did some things to you. I didn't intend it. My silly sister is saying, yeah, I'm your friend. Yeah, you're my friend. That's true. And lifetime. These are the people, like my family. You're not allowed to leave the WhatsApp group. The 6 of us, you are not allowed to leave the WhatsApp group. If you leave the WhatsApp group, we put you back because you can't leave your lifetime. Right? Your lifetime. Right? But here's the thing. Assess it. Where are you? Where are you? Be brave, be bold, and just have the conversation. Have the conversation. And just say, I really liked what was. Where did we go wrong? Without rehashing it and talking about the minutia of the details. You can come in and say, we used to be so supportive of each other. You don't have to go into how you supported and how you supported and how I supported and when and the support has to be equal to the support and create formulas of -4 support equals +4 support, which equals 0. So we are even. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Just have the highlights. Create a highlights reel of everything that you loved. And one thing that happened that just devastated it. And then say, if you didn't intend it, I didn't intend it that way. Or my life changed. I got a husband. And you know what happens when people get husbands? Some of them disappear. You never see them again. Right? So just get it. Let's put this thing to rest once and for all. And say, I'm going to be the person who understands that some friends are life-giving. A life-giving friend is a friend who shows up in your life to give you and show you, to inject life in you. Maybe they were helping you with your resume. Maybe they were your, one night stand. I don't recommend that. Don't recommend that. They were life-giving. You can't try and make them a lifetime friend, right? A purposeful friend shows up and they're in your life for a purpose. Your baby daddy, your baby mama might be purposeful. Stop fighting. You have the purpose complete. Life-giving complete. Right? Lifetime friends must be nurtured so that they can remain lifetime. They need to know that you believe they are your lifetime friends. And you have to gauge that you too are their lifetime friend, because there's nothing worse than thinking that your friend is lifetime and she finds you dispensable. Be courageous enough to assess your friendships and have the conversation. Right? I know friendships is an area where people are struggling. You just want to be liked. I want to be liked. I want to be liked. No. If you have 2 friends at 51, you're ahead. You're doing well. You are doing well. If you have 2 people, and I have shared with you that I have 4 friends, I talk to them maybe each 3 times a year. Lifetime. Ride or die. Ride or die. Okay? And there are 4 people. Ride or die. They will always be there. Lifetime friends. Life-giving, I know some of them. I know some of them. And then purposeful, they're there. They're there. But just know the 3 categories. Okay? Know the 3 categories. And let's start the year, make a list. Associates, Facebook friends. That's another challenge. When you try to make your Facebook friends more than they want to be or are capable of being, you're the one with the problem. You're the one with the problem. You see, a Facebook friend can turn into a really good friend if you are communicating frequently, if you are going deeper in the relationship in that way. Maybe you're talking on Zoom on the side as well. You've never met this person. I have plenty of people like that in my life, but they also might be purposeful. I haven't made them lifetime friends yet. They might be purposeful. There's nothing wrong with being in limbo. There's nothing wrong with accepting that you're purposeful. If someone tells you that you're a purposeful friend, you can't get mad. Why? Why would you get mad? You just know where you are. You just know where you are. Nurture your lifetime friends. Nurture your purposeful friends, but in a different way from lifetime. And nurture your life-giving friend during that season. When that season is over, stop saying, "Oh, I did this for them." They were life-giving. Don't start counting what you did for a life-giving friend. Because when they were doing that for you, when you were doing that for them, they were doing something for you as well. That's how you categorize this thing. Let's stop fighting ourselves. Like for me, I was just like, "Why did you leave me?" I was awake like my friend was a dude. Pathetic, just pathetic. But I didn't know better at the time. Now I know. I don't spend too much time on this topic. By the way, it still feels bad when you have to move people to the next category, but you're not going to die. You'll be all right. Okay? Have a wonderful day. See you on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. And have a wonderful day. Bye.